So tonight we're going to be diving into our community one-shot as we dive into our Ravenloft game. Before we get started, I do want to introduce our friends, and my name is Trevor. I'm a forever DM. I rarely get to play characters, but I've been DMing for 30 years, which makes me feel super old. But I'm super excited to teach new players and new DMs this amazing hobby. And let's go ahead and get started. Above me, we have...
Hey, hello. I'm Brian. I will be playing Riston Rottenberry, the 3rd level Haggling Shadow Monk.
Haggling. So it's a hex blood, which is the new lineage from Ravenloft, but flavored to be a hobbit. So a hobbit haggling, if you will, or it's going to be fun. And I think you actually took the idea from one of my build videos, didn't you?
Absolutely.
I am excited. I was excited to see this. So yeah, we will actually be playing one of my build videos tonight. I'm excited about that. All right. So that is our first character. We have the Shadow Monk, and then below me in the awesome hat and glasses we have
John. I'm going to be playing Nefal of the Tenzin. He's a fighter warlock, black dragonborn with an undead patron.
Undead patron, black dragonborn fighter warlock. And if I remember correctly, it's a 1-level fighter, 2nd level warlock. Definitely more of a melee class, but he does have some ranged options. Black dragonborns are particularly nasty. They have the breath weapon as well. So that'll be fun to see. All right, and then below him, all the way down in the black shirt and is that a Metroid shirt?
It is.
Oh,
gotta save him, man.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, and introduce yourself, please.
My name is Tim. I will be playing Zolgor. He is a bronze dragonborn ranger.
Nice.
And been playing ranger.
Now, what was this? What was the subclass you chose? Was it hunter?
Yeah, hunter.
All right, so we have So the classes that we have for tonight. Up top we have Riston, the Hex Blood Shadow Monk. Below me is John, who will be playing Nefal, the Warlock Fighter Black Dragonborn, with the Undead Patron, which will come in immediately as soon as I say we're starting the game. And then all the way down at the bottom we have Tim, who will be playing Zolgor, the Bronze Dragonborn. So 2 Dragonborns and a Halfling. So 2 Dragonborns and a Hex Blood Halfling walk into a Domain of Dread. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into Harakir. So all of the people in this, the Domain of Dread a lot of times will pull other people from other worlds and stuff into these domains, but these people, they actually live here. These are people who are familiar with the terrain, and they live in the Domain of Harakir. And where our story is going to begin tonight, well, the first thing we got to do, let's set the mood. So first thing we got to do is let's put some music on. And let's get... So as the music picks up and we dive into Harakir, please imagine, if you will, this barren landscape of deserts and mountains and rocks and the wind kicking by and just constant sandstorms. And where this story is going to pick up, imagine the Nile River, the eternal river as it was in this domain that goes all the way down south from the Red Oasis all the way up to the Muhar Oasis, and is kind of the lifeblood of this land. And here we do see vegetation. This is where, most of the Akirans that are people, the inhabitants of this land, they kind of tend to live in this area because it is where, food and source and shelter and everything. So this is where the population hub of the entire realm kind of lives. Because anything outside of this, we're going to be seeing a lot of the denizens of the Dread Lord who overlooks Harakir. And each domain in Ravenloft is looked over by a Dread Lord. And he's almost imprisoned in this zone, in these realms. And the Dreadlord for this domain, his name is the Pharaoh Octopot. And all of the people who live here are tasked from their Pharaoh to help him find his Ka, which is his soul that has been taken from him and has been basically hidden into the desert. And by day, the living search for this, and at night, the denizens of Octopot, the countless hordes of undead, they scour the deserts, also looking for his Ka. And it is said that Akirans, they will serve Octopot in life and in death to the endeavor of finding his Ka, or his soul. And that is the setting that we're at. But we're going to pick up our story in the city of Muhar, which is just south of the Muhar Oasis. So we're going to move now and take a look at the city of Muhar. So this bustling desert metropolis, if it were, several hundreds of people that live inside the city, and then thousands outside of the outskirts, all descend on this city, and it is a place for trade. But the most importantly, the people here seek guidance from the mission of Octopot. And one of the things that they really take a look at here is looking at the priestess that governs this town. And the priestess name is, let me say it right, Rakot. Hang on. Rakotep. Rakotep. Sorry, I apologize. I get fumbled on the Egyptian names as well. And Rakotep is the priestess that overlooks the town. And it is here that this group has been called together to see what it is that she has called them to do. So now we are diving in, and in the city of Muhar, the bustling, basically there are several of people that will come together and go on different expeditions and explore the world of Harakir, looking for this cause. And as leads come in from both the living scouts and even the undead servants of Octopot, this area is kind of a hub for gathering that information and then sending roving bands out to search for these. And tonight's story is going to circle around one group who has been given one of these leads from the priestess Rakotep. And that is where we pick up. So now, in the city of Muhar, we see this building up here to the top. This is the estate or the court of Rakotep. And from there, we also see Marthas. Marthas is basically her right-hand man, looking over, and he's surveying all of the adventurers and travelers and warriors and calling them out. And in this group, who is led by a black dragonborn known as Nafal. Now, John, please describe your character. What exactly is anything distinguishing his character as he walks forward?
Yeah, he's a black dragonborn, but all of his scales on his body are all filed down, so it's not quite black and shiny. It's more like a dull gray.
Okay.
And he's got black dreadlocks.
Black dreadlocks. Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it. All right. So as you walk forward, now, what type of armor is he wearing, or is he wearing any?
Yeah, he's wearing studded leather, but it's studded with bones and
Oh, okay. So
items
studded
that,
leather. He's scavenged together this armor, and what is the
Yes.
weapon that he is carrying? What's his weapon of choice?
It's a flail.
He carries a flail, and I believe a shield as well, right? So you have a shield and a flail. As you walk
Yes.
in, the character, obviously a lot of people in the court, they see Nefel walk in, this black dragonborn. He has a little bit of clout in the area because he serves Octopot directly, but also in service of the priestess. And as he comes in, Martha sees you and your two companions as well, and he kind of motions you over. Oh, Nefal, thank you so much for joining us. We have a special message, and priestess would like to see you now. And as he comes in with your two companions walking beside you, first we see another large dragonborn standing to your right. And with that, Tim, describe your character.
He's a pretty tall dragonborn in scale mail that's decorated with a few trophies from the hunts that he's went on.
Okay, and this is a bronze dragonborn. Also, you're carrying a bow, and also, what weapons and armor are you carrying as well?
It's a bow, and I got I got two daggers.
Okay.
On my side, and then just a hand axe, fixed to my back.
Okay.
Generally clothed in like stuff to keep me safe from like the desert winds, the rough desert winds.
Gotcha. Okay, like a hooded cloak kind of pulled over.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And then also, not to be overlooked, but standing a smaller stature to Nefal's left, his other companion, while smaller in stature than the dragonborns, not to be trifled with. Brian, please describe your character.
Riston comes in looking a bit worn from the outdoor weather. He carries with him a very large spear that almost looks cartoonish in the size difference. He has pallid skin, and he's wearing a almost like a cloth sack, like mask, to help kind of crudely kind of cut shape to kind of help with the blast of the wind of the sands. And you also notice that he wears no shoes, and his feet are pallid. The skin is pallid.
Okay. All right. And as the three of you walk in, several of the servants of the court, they see you and make your way into the court. And now we're going to move to our interior of the court. And now, as you walk in, you see several of the statues of the gods of this domain. All gods in this domain serve Octopod, and were actually placed in power by the Pharaoh himself. It is said that whoever would help him find the Ka may actually join in on the pantheon of this world, which is one of the things that has driven people, because it is, if ever there was a lottery ticket to be found, it would be to find the Ka, because it would mean to have the favor of the Pharaoh himself, who has the ability to give you some type of deityhood, if it were. So with that, the three of you have walked into the court, and you see several servants with the large staves, with the giant feathers on top, breezing the priestess as she walks in. As she walks in, you see this priestess with long black hair, gossamer silk robes, with gold jewelry adorning her neck and around her face and ears. And as she walks in, she looks over and goes, Nephal, I see you have returned. Please, bring your companions forward. And with that, Marthas grants all three of you audience into the priestess as she standing next to a table and is unrolling a regional map, as it were. And as she does, she looks over and goes, "Now, Nephal, I know that you have helped me in the past, but your other dragonborn friend, Zolgar, you are familiar with this area, are you not?"
I am very familiar with these lands.
Now, the oasis just north of it, have you traversed that land in great detail?
Many, many a times. I know it like the back of my scales.
There is, we've received a report of a shaking of the earth, and just north of here in the oasis, there seems to have uncovered a cavern. And I have received word from our Lord that he sent a division there last night to investigate, and they were unsuccessful in entering. He has received word from me to send scouts during the day to see if you may find something as well. We've searched all over the realm, but now we are to search in the earth itself to see if the Ka has been buried. Do you know of this cave? Have you heard of this?
I've seen it many a times, but I have not dared venture into it by myself.
Well, will you go this time? Are you brave enough to travel it this time?
I believe so with my two cohorts here, that I am up for the challenge.
So Nephal and Ryson, he just called you cohorts? Does that seem like that's fair?
Nephal would look at him and say, "I'm a cohort now.
You're right.
You do know who my patron is."
Right. And with that, the priestess bids you to take travels, and she reaches over and says, Marthas, please, bring them drink for their travel. And Marthas comes and he opens up this case, and he hands each of you a small vial of potion, a healing potion to take on your way to help you on your journey. So each of you has a healing potion to be added. And house rule for me, I know 5th edition says that it is an action to drink a potion. I say it is a bonus action. I think it's ridiculous to have a full turn. That's all you do is drink a potion. So for me, it's a bonus action. All right. So each of you have an extra healing potion with you, or one, as it were, each, to take on your journey. They also give you food and supplies for your travel, and also they're giving you mounts. There will be 3 camels stocked up for you to travel north to the oasis. Should only take about half a day or so to get up that way using the camels. Is there anything that you would like to do before you leave town?
I'm always prepared to go on journeys
Okay.
for my patron.
All right. So, you, Nephal, you are ready to go. You go to get to the camels itself. Ryson, is there anything that you want to do before you leave town?
I'd like to go back to my favorite watering hole and tell that lovely barmaid who I'm in love with that I'm gonna go get the spirit. We're gonna get our dreams are gonna come true, and we're gonna go out and handle. Yeah, we're gonna ride off into the sunset with when I become the next god in the pantheon here.
I got you. So you're gonna go make a bunch of promises you may or may not be able to keep.
I'm bragging. I'm bragging.
You're writing a very large check. Yeah, very large check. I got you. Okay. And then finally, is there anything that our ranger friend Zolgar wants to do before we leave town?
Just looking over some sketches or notes of stuff he may have made of the lands.
Now, the maps that you know this area like the back of your scales, but the maps are constantly changing because one thing that you know is that the sandstorms that are controlled by Octopot are constantly churning and changing the topography slightly, depending on, I would say season, but it just depends on where the storms are. So you're constantly having to more look at the mountain ranges to kind of find your way as like landmarks, because normally where you would walk and say, hey, I know these boulders up here, they may be buried. Or there may be new boulders unearthed. It's constantly changing as the storms are constantly changing and ripping apart the earth looking for the Ka. So with that, it is mid-morning when you break out for day. You should be at the oasis by evening. And with that, the three of you jump on your camels and head out of town. Now, as the three of you ride, I would imagine that Zolgar, you are in the lead, as you do know the terrain the best as the three of you travel out. And that is where we will pick up as you are traversing the desert and heading out across the way to the oasis. So as the three of you are going out, Zolgar, you are out front, and as you've made this journey many times, the sands and the dunes are slightly different, as we spoke about. You do see several skeletons unearthed out of the countryside as well. It's a little unnerving because anything that you would normally see like skeletons or bones are generally intact and walking around, but these look to be recently shattered. What would you like to do?
I guess I would do would be an investigation or nature to see if I could figure out what kind of caused this.
Investigation. We'll start with that.
Okay.
First roll of the night. The ranger is investigating. A mighty 6. What is your bonus?
It's a 7. It's a 7.
It's a 7. He gets a mighty +1. All right, so he rolls a 7, and you look. The only thing that you can tell is that these have been recently shattered, and it looks like some bludgeoning weapon was used against them, which is odd to you because all of the followers of Muhar are protected from the followers of Octopot. So it's just interesting what they might have come across something that actually fought them. Is there anything else that you would like to do with this scene?
No, currently I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. Surveying this, we'll just go around. Nafal, also still sitting atop your camel. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Short of them being shattered and broken, is there anything else unusual? Could we tell what they were?
All right, so this is a medicine check, like an anatomy check. Woohoo! Rolling it straight up. No, it's really hard to tell. It's broken up so much you can't really tell. They are rolling hot, folks. But the good thing is, get it all out of the way. Get the low rolls, just get them out of the way, get them out of your system. All right, so you can't tell what they were. You just know that they were shattered. Ryson, is there anything that you would like to do perched up on your camel?
Being as high up on my camel as I am, I daintily kind of hop off in like almost like a full round off little pike twist.
Okay.
And as you see the footprints kind of flow off as I scamper in the sand, I'd like to use my alchemical background to see if there's any like bones or powder or something of use that I would be able to use as far as like potion wise or something like of that nature.
All right, well, give me a nature check.
Okay. All right, let's get those little ones out of the way.
And you are proficient in this since you're using part of your background.
Okay, so it'll be 1d20 plus 2.
Okay. A mighty 8. You do find some bone powder. You scrape that off, and bone chips and things like that. Those are things that can be used. The two Dragonborn kind of look at their little friend, collecting, tidbits and think, that's rather odd, but you've been traveling with him so long, it's not that surprising. It's just, there he goes again, collecting bone chips. All right, so with that, is there anything else that the three of you want to do with this location before you move on?
I don't think so. I think Zolgar can lead us to the location we need to be at.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just had a question. The way the bones were kind of laid, does it look like happenstance? Does it look like this was like a migratory pattern? Like these people kind of fell? Are the bones just displaced in a chaotic fashion?
All right, so
does it look like it was?
All right, that's an investigation check. You're looking at something a little bit different than your other friend. So yeah, give me an investigation check. We're getting better, folks. We've gone from a 6, a 1, to 8. We're in the teens. He rolled a 14. We rolled a 14. Do you have any bonuses in investigation?
I do not.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So 14, you do see that the way it looks like they were surprised or ambushed by something else. You do see the way the wind is kicking the sands up. You see these little indentations in the sand around where there might have been tracks. It's kind of hard to see that at this point. But what it does look like, they were surprised. There's parts of them kind of like sprayed out different places. One thing you do notice, you've been in a lot of combat in your time. And you notice that this seemed like, while it was a surprise attack, it looks like it was very frantic and not, it wasn't like any military training or anything behind it whatsoever. This looked like just like a ragtag kind of like skirmish. So you see that there's obviously someone out here is working, came across these things and jumped on them, and Nefel, these are allies to you. The undead are. So it's a little concerning. Why would they be jumped by any Akirans we're all in this together. We're all trying to find the Ka. So you just find that interesting. Okay. And with that, the three of you, if there's anything else, we'll move past this. Anything else from anybody? Blank stares, good. Okay. We'll move on to the next. So the three of you get back on your camels and begin traversing out and heading towards the oasis. As you're going, Zolgar, give me a survival check to see if you've done this a million times, but just go ahead and roll to make sure that this is survival. What's your bonus?
So it's plus 16.
16. All right, so 12 plus 4 is 16. As you're going across, the topography has changed. The hills and everything has moved, but in the distance, you're looking. Your point of reference are the stones in the distance, like the tall rocks, the tall mountains, and you know which way you're going to the oasis. In just a few short hours, you have made it your way across the desert, leaving Muhar and getting to the oasis. And it is at that point that we break out into the oasis itself. As you roll forward, you see this giant oasis in front of you. It's just gorgeous. And finally, from the orange and brown sands and everything that we're seeing, you're seeing lush green. You see trees. You see several different springs like kind of popping up and little puddles here and there as finally there's a return of life. Because before you were kind of going around and not really following the Eternal River north, but you were this is a little bit faster way. You get there and now you're seeing this giant lush oasis in front of you. Now, you're not exactly sure. She said something about a new cave, and you had told her you had seen it before, but it might take a little bit of traversing to find where exactly this cavern is. So with that, what would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to survey the lands around the area, see what's going on, if there's signs of like footways of people going into the caves, or like a footpath of where they would go into the cave.
As the three of you are making your way on camel, Zolgar, you get off the ground and you start looking around the sand, and then you're actually getting into the brush itself. Go ahead and give me a survival check to see what you see.
Oh, I did it twice. Oh, no.
We'll take the first one, which is a 13 plus 4 is a 17. What you do see as you're going through, you see a lot of tracks. Now, you've picked these types of tracks up before. These would be the shuffling steps of the minions or the followers of Octopod. A fairly large group came by here just a day or so ago. The tracks seem somewhat fresh. In fact, as you get to the marshy front of the oasis itself, you can still see the indentation of the footing as you're walking through. And you can see like the dragging feet as whatever the minions had come in had basically been dragged. So you can see like the mud being dragged across. So it's very easy to follow. As you're going, Nefel, give me a religion check. It's a hot day in the desert, and you continue to move forward as he rolls a natural 1. Disregard anything I just said. You're just moving. You're like, it's hot. It's hot. It's okay. All right. However, the Black Dragonborn does feel more at home in the moist surrounding because, you like the marsh and the muck and everything. So, you like to kind of stick your feet in that and feel, this feels nice. It feels more like home. And with that, Ryson, what would you like to do?
I'm going to slide on down off the camel's neck and then kind of walk my way towards the edge of the water and pick a piece of sour grass and start chewing it, kind of dip my feet in the water and kind of survey and look for this cave, if you will, this entrance.
Give me an investigation check as you're looking about.
Okay, here we go. Investigation.
We're getting all this out of the way. All right. You're still, the three of you are moving your way through the oasis itself. Zolgar, you are continuing to follow the tracks of the undead in. Is at this point, you passively perceive, passive perception's a thing. You actually, you catch something, a foul stench in the air. Something like burning, but it's like really burnt. And you've traveled this a good bit. It's not something you have smelled before. It smells quite awful. And you just kind of catch it against the wind. As you get closer, you see what looks to be, as you're kind of moving, kind of pinging the map, just kind of as a point of reference of where you are. As you're kind of walking across the shoals of the oasis itself, you look over and you see what looks to be the crumbled remains of one of Octopod's scouts. And it still has some steam coming off of it, even though it's been there for at least a day.
All right. I'd like to do an investigation on it.
Okay.
See.
Go for it. We're gonna get all these low rolls out of the way. We're getting better. 13. That's an all. 14's the highest, but 13's pretty good. As you look over, whatever burned this thing, it looks like it was a straight line. It cut it from neck to stomach, like across the body, and you can see how it kind of like it came across. It almost looks like the wound itself was cauterized. And while it looks like it's old, it is still hot.
Okay, so it's just been burning for a while.
Right.
Okay. So I'm assuming the other two are not around me in a motion.
You're a little bit further ahead, which is the norm. Like you're kind of always scouting forward.
Okay.
Nefel, you are a warlock. Your patron is Octopod himself. You see a minion or an ally, if you were, just like sawed in two, and from whatever blast this was, whatever did this to him, and between seeing the crushed undead before and now seeing this, you have cause for concern. What is it that you would like to do?
Get off and actually do a little bit of investigation on what's actually killed this guy, and
all right, so let's do this. Instead of an investigation check, do a medicine check.
Okay.
Because medicine for me is anatomy.
+0.
I'm gonna kind of mix investigation and medicine here for you. So basically, what you're looking at is this body is being like cut in two. You do see that whatever hit it burned it, and as you look around, you also see that there is a rock behind it that is also got a cut in it, and it is also still burning. So not only is the flesh still burning, but you see not burning, but steam coming off of the rock that seems to cut through this and actually hit something behind him as well. So whatever hit this was extremely powerful. Again, give me a religion check.
+1.
Your scales kind of like shudder at the feeling of, you've never felt this before, but whenever you are around followers of your patron and you feel a certain way, now you feel that you're in the presence of something else, some other divine sense that doesn't sit right with you.
Friends, we should tread carefully. This is something not of this realm.
What, Nafal? What could do this type of damage to a man?
Nothing from Hekar.
All right, Zolgar, what would you like to do?
I'd like to continue. If there's a pathway,
You continue following with using your survival. You continue to follow the tracks forward. As you do, you look and you find several other of these bodies just kind of strewn about. You see a severed arm, again, cleaved off. Some of them look like they've been cleaved off, with a large weapon. Others, you see more of this burning, and other. There are entire skeleton remains laying there that you see that have been just blackened by some type of intense heat. As the three of you continue to move forward, Nafal, you look down and you sense that you are on ground that is very odd to you, as if it was consecrated in some way.
This is not normal. This the ground has been tread upon by perhaps celestials or some other being from another plane.
Now, is there wildlife around?
There is. There are birds flying. There are fish jumping. There's a lot of life around the oasis. Other animals come but they don't seem to be concerned at all. Everything seems normal to them.
I would like to cast Speak with Animals on.
Oh God. And this is the part where Tim totally screws over the DM and says, "I want to speak to the local wildlife." All right, I'm game.
All right,
I'm game.
I would like to speak to a bird if there's a bird nested nearby.
All right. So, looking up into a tree, you see a scavenging bird, a dark feathered crow is up there, and you see him kind of nestling his beak into his feathers. What would you like to say?
I'd like to take a piece of food out and hold it up into my hand and attempt to get the bird to talk to him and say, "You there? Come down here. I have a treat for you. If you I have a few questions I'd like to ask of you."
Oi! Did you just say something to me?
Yes, I did.
Huh. Well, that's quite odd.
I understand. I am very in tune with the animals around here.
Why would you want to talk to me?
I'm trying to find out what happened among the scene here.
Well, I don't know if I should be talking to you.
I trust you. Trust me, we mean you no harm.
No. I've seen you. I've seen you around with that thing on your back. You killed a friend of mine, and I saw you eat him.
Look, that is the way of the world.
Why should I help you?
Because I am not hungry right now.
Give me a persuasion check.
It's +2, so 15.
Oh, you bring up a solid point, I guess. What can I do for you? How about we'll talk. I just want to keep my distance.
That's
You
fine. That's
you
fine.
understand?
I'm wondering if you saw what happened to these bodies that lay here. If was there some sort of battle that happened? Do you know what kind of being caused this damage?
I wouldn't call it a battle. A bunch of those walkers, they came to the cave and a bright light shone and cleaved them down. And it was very quick. It was only in a moment. I was sitting in that tree over there. Saw it all. I did.
Does it happen to? Does this happen often? Does
No.
it?
Nay, friend. First time I've seen it. I normally on the south side. He moved over this way and quick light, bright light, orange light.
All right. Well, that is most of the information I would need from you.
Now,
And I toss him some bread.
You toss it. He catches it. He goes, "Oh, I got another question. Are you going in there?"
Yes, we are going to go in there.
No offense, but you don't mind if I pick you after you die, do you?
Not at all. Such is the way.
Such is the way. I like that. I'm going to tell my friends about that. Such is the way. Good luck to you, friend, and if you see me again, try not to shoot me.
I will try.
Perfect. All right. So you've talked to the local wildlife, the black scavenging crow, and got a little bit of information.
So I talk with my my party and trying to figure out, what way do you guys want to tackle this? This seems to be some sort of, I don't know if it's some kind of guardian of this cave or.
He told you what tree he was in, and what direction that he saw this entity, correct?
Correct.
So maybe we can get up in the tree somehow and kind of get our direction and bearings and try to see what vantage point or what possible attack points this celestial or whatever this guardian may be, or maybe at least get us a look of where this door might be. I had a question, Trevor. The bodies, are they strewn about these scouts?
They are, but they're almost in a line. It looks like whatever hit them, it cleaved them, and then they scattered from there. There was like an impact point.
I'm not getting a good feeling about this, boys.
Yeah,
it is a one shot.
Yeah,
and if you do get a chance to talk to the crows again, make sure they don't pick at me when I die.
So he had a good idea. I'm assuming we do not see the cave currently.
You see it around a corner. It's small, but you do see it. It's torn in the earth. You thought a different cave, but now following it's pretty easy. You see the line of the undead that's been blown apart. You can see that the entrance of the cave, and from your vantage point looking forward, it doesn't look like any of them actually made it inside the cave from what you can tell.
Okay. And is there any structure or statue or anything?
You're basically looking at like a large boulder that's been laying like this, and there's an entrance in like this. Like something cracked the earth, this boulder fell, and now there's an entrance in, probably about 4.5 feet tall.
Right, so
I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna stealthily, of course, walk my way and kind of keep to the edges, and kind of stealthily walk my way towards the entrance of the cave, and get a better look.
All right, give me a stealth check as the monk is going to try to rogue his way up.
Oh shit! Oh,
it's all good.
Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do it. Let's get a good roll going, huh?
The highest roll tonight is we had a lot of bad ones early. Hey, that's the highest, an 18. All right, so 18 plus 5. That's a 23. You very nimbly just move across the brush. You get all the way up to the entrance. As you look in, there is an orange glow, a hue bouncing off the rocks on the inside. Whatever's inside is actually, you can see there's light inside. It's a very strange, almost like an amber light that is ricocheting off of the rocks. Now the two Dragonborn look forward, and then the two of you kind of look at each other like, this is his job. This is how he earns his keep. He's gonna do that, and then so you two are just kind of sitting back. at this point. Now, at this point, what's in everybody's hands? Like, let me get a hand check. Like, what's everybody holding at this point?
I currently have my hatchet out, cutting through the brush.
Okay, so you got your hatchet cutting through the brush. And Nefel, what do you have? Our black dragon boy.
I would have my shield and my flail.
The shield and flail have been like, I think I'm gonna get these out now. All right, and then Ryson, you're just moving around hands free, right? Well, you have your spear.
I have my really big walking stick. That's called a spear.
Okay, all right. So you walk up now. You're basically, kind of theater of the mind. What we're doing. You're kind of like got your back up against this stone, kind of looking around. Just barely peeking your eye around the corner. You see that the rocks, it goes down and turns, but you can see that amber light like brushing up against the stone on the inside. I think the monk is up. What do you want to do?
I think I should relay. The fact that I'm picking up some of the ambient light to my partners, or can they see it? They can see the light, correct?
Not from where they are.
Okay. I give them a signal.
Okay.
I give them the hand signals that I've got something in here. Basically from our times traveling.
Sure.
Giving them the signal, the heads up, the trail signal.
Okay.
And they know when my ears start to like wiggle a little bit that it's bad news. Like there's something like I'm starting to.
All right. So what do you want to do from there? So you've relayed the information. The Dragonborn are like, by all means.
I am going to, and you said it's a 4.5 feet entrance.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I want to, oh man. I think we're gonna.
Let's pause. Let's pause for a second. Chat, what should he do? This is a community game. Now, normally, in our full campaign, with that. We don't ask
I'm
chat.
Down with that. I love that.
What should the monk do? Let's talk to chat. If you are playing this game right now and you just saw what you saw, what should the monk do? Now hold on now. Here's the thing. Because chat is watching and chat's not playing, they don't care as far as like what happens to you. They're like, oh yeah, let's
go in there.
Let's see him get murdered. Yeah,
of course they do.
Arashi Keiji, which is Danny in our game on Monday nights, he says have a dance off. Ferric says kicked him in the face. Wait, what? Wait, what?
Okay.
All right, so I guess we're giving them a second to get caught up and see, do they want to YOLO find something to punch? Yeah, you're a monk. You should find something to punch. But Zeppy says YOLO. So
okay, all right. So then let's do this. All right, I look behind me at the Dragonborn. I kind of give him a wink. I put my hood on, and we are going to. I'm going to cast Pass Without Trace.
There we go.
I'm going to put that on my Dragonborn buddies if they're close enough, and me as well. And I'm going to go sneak in there and go kick somebody in the face.
All right. So you slip eventually. So you cast Pass Without Trace. You then slip into, now as soon as there's a moment where you kind of breathe as you kind of step into the rock itself, go ahead and give me a stealth check, but go ahead and give me all your bonuses too, because you're going to get your class bonus and another plus 10 for being.
Okay,
is plus 15. So stealth check is plus 15. A 30. So 30 is your stealth check, and for people who are watching, that is a ridiculous number to roll. Okay, so you go in quietly. You go inside, and without making a sound, you get down. Now, as you get down, the 4.5 foot hole kind of opens up more as you get inside. That's just like the entrance itself. You see this amber light kicking in. It goes down probably another 20 feet before it seems to open up into some type of underground cavern. So at this point, you just see that there is an opening, but you haven't gotten to the opening yet. Do you wish to continue?
Yes, let's wait for the Dragonborn backup.
All right, so as you are sitting there waiting for the Dragonborn backup, give me a perception check.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, as I see him jump in, I'm like, oh god. And I swap out to the bow, and we make our way up there.
All right, so you've put the hatchet up. You've got
You should
bow.
know
You're
squat
cocking
in
his
his
all
bow.
right.
I've done this before.
All right, so that's a 15 plus 5 perception. It's a 20. There is a very slight, delicate hum that you're hearing in the air itself. Like it's very just a. It's it continues a very delicate hum. You feel your hand against the stone itself, and even the stone around you is having a very gentle vibration of this hum. Like you can hear it and you can feel it in the rock itself.
So I wow. Okay, more good news. Is there a way? Yeah. Okay, so how far back is the cavalry? Am I?
I guess are the Dragonborn stepping in at this point?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since he cast Pass Without Trace, should we also be rolling?
Yes,
for
you
stealth?
should also be rolling stealth and add whatever your bonus is plus 10. Zolgor rolling hot.
So
Yeah.
There you
So-
go,
Yeah.
attaboy.
I had a mine's at disadvantage. So
That is
I'll
true
take that
because
10.
you're.
Oh yeah, mine is 2.
Oh.
So.
Oh,
Okay, so-
ooh, that's
well,
not near as good.
So yeah, so the 5 plus 10 plus 2
So Zolgor, why is yours disadvantage?
scale mail.
Scale mail, and then why? That is true. It is scale mail.
And
And
But the studded leather is the same.
studded leather isn't disadvantage, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have never played that it is. I'm going to say that it's not.
Or it's not studded. It's spiked.
Oh, it's spiked armor. Oh, that is definitely yeah, that is, yes. Okay. So both of you roll your stealth with disadvantage. I see that we have a stealth roll of 5 for Zolgar.
Right.
With your bonuses, what does that equal?
17.
17. And then Nefel, what is your stealth roll?
It was a 10 with a plus 10.
It's a 10,
So
so
20.
20. All right, so 17 and 20. All right. So oh, goody. All right, so the three of you make your way into the cave as quietly and cautiously as you can, and you stop just shy of where Ryson, the little hagling, as we're calling him, a halfling hag blood, hex blood, as he's standing with his pale skin, but his skin is not as pale as normal. There is an amber hue as the light is ricocheting from the opening onto the rock onto him, and he looks somewhat better, I guess, because he has some color in his skin. What would the three of you like to do? You're standing just shy of the openings. You can't see the inside of the cavern itself. Let's go to Nefel, the Black Dragonborn. What would you like to do?
If we can get Ryson to carry on with his sneaky ways, I think he does.
Send the monk first.
Yeah, why not? Hell yeah. I got point again.
Right.
You
Look.
do know we'll be right behind you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And I'm saving that one key point to dodge, okay?
All right.
Look.
So with that, okay, is anything that Zolgor wants to do? Our bronze Dragonborn Ranger.
So there's no bodies inside of
There's
the
no
entrance?
bodies at all.
They didn't
inside.
even make it in.
They didn't even make it in.
Okay. All right. I'm good.
I just want to verify that you've actually made it further than the other scouts.
Progression is nice.
Progression. It's progression. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to Ryson, our monk. So as you move forward, what do you want to do?
We are going to, like I said, stealthily make our way. We're going to peer into the bigger cavern,
Okay.
And I would like to get a look out of the room and see
Okay.
what maybe.
So you very sneakily kind of like peer around the corner and kind of you have to kind of like drop down to kind of get into there. But as you drop down and you look into this opening, the first thing that draws your eye is the source of the light. In the far end of the cavern, there is a giant orb lifted up off the ground. It seems to be tethered. There's like 3 points tethering it to the ground. You see this large like orangish hue that's just radiating and illuminating the entire cavern. You also sense that is the source of the humming, the vibrating and the humming is this giant orb is, and in all your travels, this is the most promising thing you've ever seen. You've never seen anything like this. The other thing that you see is the light is illuminating the room and cascading is 2 large statues on either side of this giant orb. So you have the orb, you have these 2 giant statues, inladen with like bronze and maybe gold as well. It's hard to tell from this distance. It is all up onto a platform in the cavern. There is a stone steps that are going up, and well, let's just show it to you. I always like to describe it a little bit before I just show it. And you may have to zoom back. There's a measure on the right. We can pull back to like 50%, but this will allow you to see what the it looks like. So let's move Zolgar and Nafal in the back, and Ryson, you're just kind of coming out as you're taking a look at this room here. So we have the large orb, we have boulders set up out on the bottom, you have the 2 large statues kind of overlooking the orb in the middle of the room that's just giving out this massive light. And as you walk down, you look about, and the air in here is old, but there's also like seems to be like a sweet smell to it. You're not quite sure what that is.
Okay. The statues in question, are they familiar to me, as in religious wise, or like guardian of the, like, would I be familiar with?
Give me a religion check. That's a 5. All that you know is you don't recognize them as being in the pantheon of Octopod. Could be a different artistic rendition. You don't know, but they don't look familiar to you.
And you said there were gold inlays and bronze metal work as well. Is this stone? Are they stone?
They're stone with like bronze or maybe gold inlaid like in the decoration of them.
Okay. I'm sorry. One more question. The tethers, chain, rope.
It's hard to tell. It looks like some type of chain, but it is not like it. The chains aren't holding it up. It's holding it in place.
Holding it down, kind of.
Right.
Or right. Okay. Wow. And it's humming, and the light is basically
the entire room is illuminated because of this amber light.
Okay. Can I talk to the party?
At this point, the party is kind of at the entrance, just kind of like they're looking down, only seeing your feet from their vantage point as you've kind of entered the cavern. So what do the Dragonborns want to do at this point? Is you see that he's not dead yet.
Okay, so we'll move up. I'll move up to him.
Okay. All right, so the Dragonborn throwing the Ryson bait out first, realize he didn't drop dead or get incinerated immediately. They decide it's now safe. So the Dragonborn follow in suit behind their little monk friend. And at this point, the 3 of you are now in the room. So what we're going to do is everyone, you have control over the minis themselves. And if you want to move them about the cavern, you can. Just tell me what, like, kind of take turns. Say, this is where I want to go, and this is what I want to do. Okay, so as the Dragonborn move in, Ryson, you're sitting there, you're surveying the room. The Dragonborn see everything that I've just explained to you. And with that, let's go to our ranger friend first. Zolgar, you're looking about the room. What would you like to do?
I would like to move over to the left-hand side of the room.
Okay.
Do the squares matter? Like, is it like 30 feet?
So each square is 5 feet, and you can move 30 feet. So you can move 6 squares. So tell me what 6 squares you want to walk around to. Oh, perfect. Okay, so you walk to there. You can go ahead and move your token there. That's fine. As you're walking forward, give me a perception check. What is that?
14.
Give me just a sec. Oh, good. As you step forward, you look that the sand directly to your left it seems to be everything else around you is rock and rubble. The sand to the next to you looks off. It looks softer in a way, looser, and you see that it seems to be slightly moving.
That's not good. Like moving how? So like it's just like falling down, or like
No,
something's rising
something
up?
kind of like it's just kind of something in it.
I'm gonna take a step back.
All right, so move your step back. Perfect. As Zolgar is moving and kind of stopping, what is Neffel doing?
I would like to take another shot and see if I can recognize what these statues are.
Perfect. Give me a religion check.
16.
They are definitely not in the pantheon of Ankh-Tapat, and even looking at them, you're kind of repulsed by them. These are something that you have heard about, and you've seen images of them in Muhar, graffitied on some of the walls. These are depictions of the old gods. The gods that seem to rule over this land before Ankh-Tapat.
Under my breath, I'll mutter, "Old gods."
And with that, Ryson, what would you like to do?
As soon as I hear that, I'm gonna make my way towards the heretical statues.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move. I'm actually gonna dash. We're gonna go 80.
Whoa.
We are gonna dash our way like this way, and we're gonna attempt to get ready to come up here and do some climbing because we're gonna get some gold stuff off these guys.
I dig it. Go for it.
They're gnarly. So yeah, we're let's see.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I got you. I see where you're at. All right, so you just mad dash off to the side. What is your passive perception?
It's 16. Let me see. Just a moment.
Oh, good. Okay.
15.
15. Perfect. Give me a perception check. As you are running, you stop right shy where you were wanting to get. I'm going to say you're going to stop here. Because as you're running, you kind of stop, you look over your right shoulder, and what you see is that the sand here is moving, and it seems to be like pulling back out of the ground. You immediately stop as you see these 2 points coming out of the sand itself, like sharp points, probably a couple of feet apart from each other, as they kind of start pulling out of the ground itself. You look down as you see this giant bull head come out of the sand itself. You see the sand kind of melting away as the fiery red eyes of this bull just leaps out of the sand itself, and now from here to here in a moment's notice, you're standing in front of this gigantic minotaur. At the same time that happened is coordinated. This same thing happens in front of Zolgar as well. So now let us pull up the inevitable change in music, and let's also pull up our giant minotaur friends. So everybody, go ahead and give me an initiative roll. All right, so let's get some totals here. Ryson, his initiative, hang on, let me see, is Nafal, is that you rolling an 8?
It's an 8.
It is an 8. The 8 is good. All right, Zolgar rolls a 19. Was there a bonus to that?
Yeah, it's 21.
21. And then Ryson is rolling a 15. All right, and then our Minotaurs, they are going to be going at a 14. So what we're going to have is the order of action here is Zolgar, who already had his bow drawn, is going to go first. Ryson will go second. The Minotaurs will go third, and then we'll finish off with Nafal going last. I still feel the music is just a hair high. Okay. All right. And with that, we are in combat. Danny says, quick, cast Enfeeflement. Oh man, shots fired. That's an inside joke. Enfeeflement. That's great. All right. So, oh, and Wes says, I think they have a beef with you. So the players from Monday night are here cheering you guys on. to see how you fare. All right, so here we are. So Zolgar, you are first. As you are standing here, off to the left here. Let me zoom in so we can kind of see the action a little bit better. All right, what would you like to do? There's a good 5-6 feet between you and the Minotaur, so you can move about without invoking an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Great. All right. Yeah, I'll move back.
Okay, so you're going to move back 30 feet. That is your move action. So move back.
Yep.
Perfect. From there, what would you like to do? Bonus action and action.
So for my first bonus action, this Minotaur will be my favorite foe.
Oh, he is your favorite foe. You know, you've always loved hunting Minotaur.
I love hunting whatever's in front of me.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll lead off with I'll knock an arrow and fire it at him.
Okay. All right. So you immediately, you kind of look over your enemy. You kind of see where it might be a vital spot, and you aim your bow and see if it rings true. So take your shot. Shots fired. We have an 8. What's your bonus?
+6.
+6. That's a 14.
Yep.
14 hits.
All right.
So you rolled an 8 and hit with your bow. So give me your damage. So it's a D8 for the bow, and then plus your favorite foe damage.
All right. So that's a 5 + 2, so that's 7, and then adds a crap. Where'd it go? Plus a D4. So plus a 1, so 9.
9 total damage. All right. So you take a shot. It hits right in his right pec. It just lands into it. He's like, he kind of looks at it and doesn't seem terribly bothered that there's an arrow sticking out of him. Ryson, it is now your turn.
Okay. He's still 10 or 15 feet away from me, or am I
About
engaged
6 feet.
with?
You're about 6 feet away. So you're 5 feet away.
Okay.
So you've got a chance to move around.
Okay. What we're gonna do is we are gonna move. Surprising. And we are gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is 40 feet. And I'm gonna cast minor illusion, and I'm going to cast myself as a piece of the rock that's under there.
Okay, so you're gonna
rock.
run behind the boulder and cast minor illusion around yourself.
Yep.
I like that move a lot. I may have done that myself a few times in my day. All right.
He's a little out of my weight class.
I can't punch that high. I can't punch that high.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So you run and you cast minor illusion on yourself. All right, and with that, the Minotaur is going to look and see if he can see where you went. He does not. So he is going to just charge the next target, which is going to be whoever just shot that bow. Now his movement is only, it's 40 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's going to have to spend his entire action getting up to you. Yeah, he's 50 feet away. So he's going to spend his whole action running up to you. He's just charging. So he's just running at you. This one as well. 5, 10, 15, 20. This one can get up to you. And in that turn, and he will get a swing off. They're fast. So one of them spends his entire turn to get to you. The other one is going to charge at you. He is going to give a gore of his horns to try to hit you. That's going to be a miss. Alright, so he's going to miss with his horns. So you move up, you just duck out of the way. As his horns went high, you went low, and then he kind of he's got an axe in his hand, and he kind of just like gets his axe ready to receive. But that is it for their turn. Nafal, it is your turn. You've got 2 giant minotaurs in front of you.
Yeah, closing on my partner. As a bonus action, I'm going to cast my Form of Dread.
Okay.
And give myself an extra 11 hit points.
All right. So when you do that, this is your warlock ability from your undead patron. You take on the Form of Dread, which is the form of your patron. You begin to look a little bit like the Pharaoh Octopot himself. Your skin kind of dries in and pulls in, and even your clothing kind of changes to resemble that of the Pharaoh himself. This aura kind of coming across. So now as you do that, you take in these extra hit points. That is your bonus action. What would you like to do next?
move up and actually no, I'm not going to move. I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. Okay. All right. So shooting the same one that has the arrow sticking out of his chest.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Plus
Ooh.
5.
That's a hit. So you connect with the. Now, what does Eldritch Blast look? I always say it looks different per person. What does it look like as you cast that?
Yeah, it's like a bluish lightning that just runs down my arm and wraps out and then shoots straight out and wraps all around the.
He is straight up shooting
target.
a Hadouken, is what this is. So he's got a Hadouken. All right, so he just shoots this thing out Street Fighter style. It does 7 points of damage. Is there any bonus to that?
No, but he's got to make a save.
Do you have Repelling Blast?
He's gonna make a Wisdom save, DC 13.
All right.
Otherwise, he is frightened.
He is not frightened.
No, okay.
Okay. But he does take 7 points of force damage.
Yes.
If I remember that's right. All right, so he's taking 9 and then another 7 points of damage. That blast burns into his other side of the chest as it burns through him. He kind of pushes back, his rage kind of turning towards you now. And now, is there anything you want to do for your? You've done bonus action. You did your attack action. Do you want to move?
Yeah, I'm gonna move. Just
okay
over to here. Just
right.
out of his range.
It's a strafing attack. You're just like shoot. Run. Okay, off to the side. All right, and now we go to the top of the round. It is now Zolgar's turn. You are surrounded by 2 giant walls of Minotaur on either side of you.
So I see that the guy is now focused on the fall. So I will. I'm trying to think here. I'm gonna risk it a little bit here, and I'm gonna try to get around. I'm gonna try to get around this Minotaur and come to the other side of him.
Okay.
Does that that'll invoke a?
So what'll happen here is you'll get an attack of opportunity from this one, the other one, but as long as you don't leave his threatened square, it'll only be 1.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try that. I want to try getting around him.
So you're gonna basically kind of run around, get on the other side of it, put a wall between the other 2.
Yeah.
So there will be 1 attack as you do that. The Minotaur who just rolled up his horns to miss you, as you kind of run off, he's gonna kind of swing his axe and take an attack of opportunity at you as you're running about. He will get advantage on this. Yeah, because you're flanked. He's flanked. You're flanked.
Yep.
Ooh. The 1's definitely going to miss. Let me see if that 6 hits. Does 12 hit you?
Negative.
You dodge out of the way of the mighty blast. You spin around. Now you're at the other side of the Minotaur. You do it so quickly, you're quickly flanking him. He wasn't expecting you to do that as you kind of like dance in midair. What would you like to do as you're now behind the Minotaur?
Well, I would like to then use my racial.
Okay.
And...
They're in a line! They're in a line!
Yep. And do an acid attack, acid breath on them.
All right, so you just reach back, the gills or whatever it is on your throat, you kind of start as you just spit this acid that comes out at them. They have to make a save, correct? Dex save?
Yep. DC 10.
Okay, so the one in front of you is going to roll first. Fail. The one behind him is going to roll. It's 10.
It is 10.
Okay, so he dodges out of the way.
Okay,
so the
he
one
takes half.
all right, so the one in front takes the full blunt of it, and the one behind it gets splashed from the acid. He was covered up. So 5 points to this one, and we'll say 3 to the one in the back. Round it up. Okay. So you do that. You let loose the acid that kind of shoots on. You burn across the back. There's a smell of like burnt minotaur, burnt beef in the room as you just spray this acid across. Ryson, way off in the distance. It is now your turn.
Okay. After doing my best run and hide, we are going to move back towards Fracas, so 5, 10, 15. 40. Let's say 40.
Okay.
And I'd like to cast minor illusion, and I'd like it to be I want to throw my voice from one of the large statues, and I want to say, "You bovine servants, unhand the visitors. They are here for me and my purposes alone."
I love it. Give me a massive deception check. I mean,
Oh, sweet baby
massive,
Jesus. Okay,
massive.
here we go.
Does minor illusion? I thought, does it do that?
I think
I'll
it
give
can
it-
do sound.
I'll do it.
You can do
I'm down.
sound.
I'll give it to you.
But
You role played
I-
it so well. We're gonna give it to you.
sweet. I don't have much, baby. All right, let's get lucky. So we're gonna do the persuasion, yeah?
Yes.
That's gonna be 1d20.
No,
Here we
deception.
go.
This is deception.
Oh, deception. I got
Oh,
you.
flat fail.
Oh yeah.
and
And then, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
it is opposed, so I have to roll it anyway.
Okay.
No, you're running. You cast that. The Minotaurs don't recognize what you're saying. It's like they don't even recognize what you're saying. Like they don't.
Speaking a different
You're
language.
speaking a different language, right? Right.
And then also, I wanted to cast Hex.
Bonus action hex. Okay.
Yes,
So
bonus
you can do that.
action
So
hex.
bonus action hex. Action is the minor illusion, which didn't do a whole
Correct.
lot, but was
Correct.
super cool. So
Correct.
which one is hexed?
Let's go with the back one that hasn't been damaged yet.
No, the back one's had the most damage. This one has the
Okay.
most damage.
Okay, let's go the front then.
All right. So the
Go
front
for it.
one, we're gonna mark him with this green hex. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the one with the green dot has a hex on it. And with that, it is now the Minotaur's turn. He is going to turn, and he is going to take a swing at our ranger friend. Does a 19 hit?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it does. Holy crap. Bring the pain. That is 14, 16 damage.
Okay.
16 damage to poor Zolgar. If I'm looking at correctly, you went from, what is your health? 22
Yeah. I'm at
minus
6 now.
16. You're at
Yeah,
6.
6. Yep.
Yeah, all right, so you're at 6. So that's one big swing. The next Minotaur is going to run. Let me see. He's going to run past you. And go after this other Dragonborn. He does run past you, but you're holding your bow, right?
Yes.
I think you have to have a feat in order to do an attack of opportunity with your bow, if I'm correct.
Correct.
All right, so he just runs by you, and with that, he's going to take a swing at Nafal.
Mhm.
21 does hit, correct?
That's gonna hit. Yep.
Oh, snap. That's not as much. Take 8. Take 8. Your armor took a brunt of the blow. He does cut across you. Your scales crack on the front as you're starting to bleed as well. Both the Dragonborn are bleeding at this point. So I've got Zolgar. You took what, 16, and then Nafal took 8.
Yeah.
All right. And chat, now is the time to cheer them on because it just got bad. All right, Zolgar, you're up.
So I got a question about. So there are like kind of rocks.
What about
on the
my
ground.
turn?
Oh,
yeah,
did I
he does
pass
get
you?
it.
I apologize, Nafal.
You-
I
Yes.
apologize. DMs make
That's
mistakes.
okay.
It's all good. All right, so you're up
That's
next.
okay. I know. Yep. I know. So bonus action. I'm gonna cast Hex on
Okay.
this one that's in front of me.
Oh, everybody's hexed. Okay. Your hex will be blue. All right. So the blue dot is yours.
Okay.
Now here's the thing.
So-
You have those. You had temporary hit points, right?
Yep.
All right.
So I haven't even taken it.
Oh, I take it back.
I'm
It didn't. It
I'm-
just. It didn't cut your armor. It just cut through the aura that you have. Right?
I'm still at. I've still got 3 of those left.
Perfect. Okay.
think. Oh, actually, that's wrong. I should have 5. Wait, maybe more than that. I'll figure it out.
Okay. All right, so he's hexed. That was your bonus action. Now what do you want to do for your action?
Yeah. We're gonna wail on him with the flail.
All right, it's flail time, everybody. Here we go. Swinging the mighty flail.
+5.
23 is definitely gonna hit. So now roll your damage.
It's a D8 +3. 6 points plus hex damage.
Okay.
Just 6. Another 3. 9 points total.
All right, so 9 total puts you at, so 28 total damage has gone into it. You crack him with the flail. The hex damage, like, it kind of hits him as well, which I kind of see that as almost like necrotic damage, since you're kind of doing the undead warlock thing, just kind of ripping away at his skin. Do you want to move or stay in toe to toe?
I can't. If I move away, I'm going to take an attack of opportunity, right?
Yeah, you can kind of shift around as long as you stay.
Yeah.
Or you can stay where you're at.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to get these guys in a line again.
They're technically in a line.
They're technically in a line. I'm just going to move over just a little bit.
I just want to pause for this is a community game, so let's talk about the community. Sunshine says there's no cheering because they are followers of those we want dead. So there's people here hoping you fail.
That's a tough crowd. Rough crowd tonight.
That's a tough crowd. That's a tough crowd.
Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Oh, I guess you are the baddies. All right. All right, so
Zolgar shout to move out of the way.
Zolgar, you've had better days. The axe across the chest has left you wanting.
True. So you said the potion was a free action or
It's a bonus action.
All right. So bonus action, I'm gonna go ahead and take a swig of that.
Okay. All right. Roll 4d4 to see how much you heal. 11. So now you're only down 5.
And then, yeah, I'll move a little bit.
Still shifting. Okay.
Is this square shifting still in his?
Sort of. As long as you can move, as long as you don't leave his threatened space.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And I'm gonna look. The one that's in front of Nafala, he's looking way worse, obviously. So I'm gonna just focus him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna fire another arrow at him.
All right. So you're kind of dancing and kind of shifting away of the Minotaur. You pull out an arrow and you try to shoot the other one in the back. 17 is going to hit.
All right. So I
go
got
ahead.
a couple of things.
I want to pause for a second. Go ahead and roll with advantage because you are flanking it. Just to see if you land the crit. Okay. So the arrow rings true in his back. Danny says it's like watching 2 of your team's division rivals play.
All right, so I got a D8 plus 2. So we're at 8 plus the 4 of the D4. That's 12, and then I get another one because he is damaged, and I got Colossus Slayer.
Ooh, he's a hunter.
Yep, and so
He's
that's
a
another
hunter.
D8. All
right, so that's 12 plus another 1. All right, so still 13 damage. So now we've got 41 damage on that one. He's calling out for focus fire on the one that Nafal is fighting. And with that, you're done. I guess you're out of actions at this point. Ryson, it is now your turn. Or Riston. Riston is your turn.
Okay, let's see here.
The pitter-patter of monk feet is coming.
Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. Okay, so we're going to do our movement. Let's go 5, 6, 7, 8. And we will attack with our spear.
Okay.
And
you will be rolling with advantage as you are behind him. And flanking. You have multiple reasons to have advantage.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's roll 2d20. Sorry about that. Just a moment.
Go for it.
Okay. Okay, there he is. 5. All right, let's get him.
All right, so the 14 will land, plus 5 is a 19. So that will hit. So for your spear attack hits, now roll your damage.
Okay, let's go.
And then also your hex.
+3.
All right, so the spear does 4 plus 3 damage, a total of 7. And then how much are we doing with the hex? Another 2. So 9 total damage, bringing it to 9. Do you want to do anything with your bonus action?
I'm gonna save my bonus action.
Okay. All right, so we're not going to... Okay.
And
All right.
that's it.
All right, so you run up and you stab him. The hex goes onto him as well. So I guess yours is still necrotic damage too for the hex. So it's kind of
Correct.
just ripping at the flesh. You hear a howl from the Minotaur as you kind of stab him in the back. You're still kind of riding the giant flank stake in front of you as you're kind of going back and forth with it. And with that, it is the Minotaur's turn. The Minotaur is going to turn and face the thing that just stabbed him, and he's going to swing at the little monk.
I'm gonna use my bonus action, a key point to dodge.
Okay.
So I
That's
guess
fair.
he'll roll at disadvantage.
I still rolled an 18.
Oh, all right. Give it to me.
Here it comes.
I know. Here comes the pain.
Here comes the pain. 12. 12 points of
Oh.
damage.
My wife hits me harder than that. I love it. Love it.
Oh, God. Alright, so you take 12 points of damage from this giant axe. It comes down, it cuts across your chest. You try to dodge out of the way, but couldn't. And now the other Minotaur is going to swing at Nafal. 13.
He's gonna miss.
You do. He comes at this point. You've kind of set the attack. He comes down with his axe. You deflect it with your shield and bash it out of the way, kind of exposing him a little bit. Now that you're kind of seeing he's just kind of swinging wildly. You've been in a few fights and you know what you're doing. He's just swinging a big weapon. And with that, it is Nafal's turn to counterattack.
I'm going to unleash the breath weapon.
Let's
because
do it.
They're in a line.
They are in a line. Look at that. That's amazing. All right. So you're going to release breath weapon as well, and is a deck save as well?
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same. All right. So this is first roll will be the
Yeah.
one directly in front of you. He's going to roll a 7, so he's going to miss. So it is going to be
It's an 11. Yeah.
acid damage. Okay.
Nice. Ryson is just out of the way.
No, that's right. Again, the second one is only going to take half. So the one in front of you is going to take 8 damage.
Yes. Oh, plus hex damage.
Plus hex. The person in front of you. All right, so you have dropped the Minotaur with the acid damage as you burn the Minotaur in front of you. We get to put the giant X on it. So splattering it just kind of rips it just burns his insides. He left himself completely open with the attack from before, and it just lined up perfectly as you just kind of just led into him with your breath weapon. He falls to the ground, the necrotic damage still tearing at him as he falls to the ground. Can't you move your hex? We have to do that as a bonus action, right? Is that right? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so one down. All right, now we go. Do you want to do a move action?
Yeah, we're gonna close on this other one.
Okay. Acid still dripping from your mouth as you kind of charge for frothing acid from the mouth as you kind of charge forward to your next target. And then we go to Zolgar.
All right, we're gonna battle this one again. We're a little bit close to him, but we're still gonna fire some arrows at him.
Okay. Yeah, you are. Take your damage.
So with the Colossus, since it's already got damage, 8, 11, 13.
13 damage. Okay. You take the shot. It shoots up. It hits him in the throat. So now he's got an arrow sticking out of his throat. You see blood coming. You hear him kind of like gargling. He's trying to like roar back at you as you've shot the arrow in his throat. Do you want to do anything for your bonus action?
No, not for my bonus. No.
Okay. With that, it's going to be Ryson's turn.
All right, I guess we got to call in the big guns.
Okay, the little guy.
Yeah, right. All my mighty D4s, here they come.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to attack with our spear. We're gonna plant the spear like basically on the top of his quad.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna run up the spear and give like a front kick to his face.
Okay, so let's do it.
Yo,
Is that a
Yoda
flurry
style.
of blows, or is that just?
No. I don't have any more keys. It's just gonna be the regular
Offhand.
attack with the one bonus action.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Okay, let's see here.
Can they bring down the mighty Minotaur before he kills somebody? Because he's swinging 2d12 damage. The spear is going to hit. An 18 plus 5 is a 23. You land the spear. You stab into him. Go ahead and roll the damage for the spear. 8 plus 3 damage. Holy cow. Okay, so that's 11 damage with that. So that brings him up to this. And
we
then
get a D6 for the
D6
hex.
for the hex.
And then we're going to give him the extra punch and kick in the head, Hobbit style.
Okay. 6! Holy cow! The Hobbit is rolling max damage. Alright, so that is a total of 17 damage done with the spear and the hex combo. Now you can go up and do your offhand attack. So roll. You are rolling with advantage on this because you are flanking. So go ahead and roll twice.
Oh, you know I like that, Trevor. You know I like that. This is for the unarmored attack.
8 plus 3 is 12. You're actually going to miss this attack. So you stab him, you run up to hit him, you miss with that attack. The Minotaur, as you kind of ran up to kick him, he's going to run. He sees you coming. He's going to try to counterattack you with his axe and bring his giant axe across you. 15.
16!
16! Oh, man. I thought it was like, I think 15's going to hit. No, it doesn't. His AC is 16. As you run up to kick him, you see the axe come by. You drop back and kind of matrix dodge as somehow defying gravity as this giant axe kind of like cleans right across your face. You flip back off the Minotaur and land, realizing that your death was this close as that axe blade just kind of went right in front of your face. You land back on the ground, and now Nafal, your target is wide open. He has got your back to you. He is exposed.
We're gonna blast him with the flail.
All right, so hit him with a flail again. Roll with advantage because you are flanking him. You're gang tackling the Minotaur at this point. The 17's gonna hit. So now go ahead and roll your damage for the flail.
It's D8.
So 1 damage, and then
four.
give
4 damage.
4 damage, and then what's the hex damage?
He's not.
Did you want a bonus action move it?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, we'll bonus action move my hex over.
Well, we'll say you did it. It's fine. So now you moved your hex over to the target. Now give me an extra D6 for damage. 5. Hey, John, what does it look like as you killed not your first but your second Minotaur?
with a huge overhand swing, he's gonna thud this spiked ball right in between his horns.
Nice. I'm so glad that everyone came. Your cohorts helped you bring down Dos Minotaurs, and now the Minotaur drops to the ground. And Sunshine, well, dang it, she's cheering against you guys. She really is. All right, so with that, it is Nafal. You have dropped it. Zolgar, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, I don't see any more beef around, so
We are right out of beef.
yeah, we are out of beef. So I'm gonna try to survey, see if there's any more shifting sands around.
You don't see any more shifting sands.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna take a breather and just try to walk up to the steps.
All right, so move your 30 feet. Okay. Give me a perception check. As you get closer to the steps, You seem to look at the statues, and the eyes seem to be looking at you. Both statues seem to be looking at you. We'll pause on that as you kind of stop and you look at the statues looking at you. Ryson, it is your turn. What would you like to do? We're just going to kind of go in the initiative order for a minute.
Well, Riston being an opportunist, like any good hobbit, we're gonna go roll the dead Minotaur bodies and let's see what they got. I want to search for
other than loincloth and a very ornate axe.
Okay.
They're not carrying anything else.
Any tattoos, any distinctive markings?
Now the problem is they're so covered in acid burn. It's kind of hard to see.
Right. That's right.
So you're just seeing it just really burnt, mangled flesh and these ornate axes that they have. Different symbols and stuff that look odd to you, the symbols on the axes themselves.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, after I wipe some of the leftover viscera that the morning the flail had basically sprayed on me from behind.
Right.
I wipe a little bit of that off, and I'd like to swig my healing potion.
All right, so go ahead and drink your healing potion and heal for 4d4.
They're one use, right?
One use. Single use, folks. 16! Holy cow, rolling hot. Okay, yeah, so you heal for 16 off your healing potion, and now it's Nifal's turn. Still in the form of octopod.
Yeah, looking at the statues, do I notice them anything other than they appear to be looking? Are they moving at all?
The eyes seem to be... they weren't like this before, but as Zolgar got closer to the steps, the eyes seem to have light up.
I'm going to move over just off to the left, over to this, to the right, just over this side.
Okay. What would you like to do? So you move over there, kind of still looking at the statues.
And
the statues seem to be staring
I'm
at
still
Zolgar.
trying to see if there's... All right, Zolgar, don't move. They're looking at you.
They're just at me.
They seem to be focused on you.
Okay. I'm gonna try taking a few steps back again and seeing if their eyes turn off or.
You take a few steps back, and they seem to be still transfixed on you.
All right. Are they like jewels or are they just actual eyeballs?
You see like yellow light coming out of their eyes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's take our first step onto the platform.
As you take a step onto the platform itself, you hear a crack in front of you from the jewel or whatever this amber light is. The crack seems to be kind of like coming down. The hum that has been kind of always in the air itself gets louder, and as it begins to crack, you see that the chains are shaking as you take that step on there. As that happens, pause. Riston, what would you like to do?
Well, it's a little late for a short rest, so let's move. I like the shiny thing. We're gonna move. We're gonna take our movement.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do 80, and we're gonna run, and we're gonna get up here. We're gonna start climbing up the walls.
All right, so you run as fast as you can, as everything's to be focused on Zolgar, and you begin to climb up the side of the rocks.
Yeah, stealthily. I'm going to try to flank that.
Right. As you run up there, you just hear more cracking from the amber. Nifal, what would you like to do?
I'm going to move up. How tall is this ledge?
It's about 20 feet, 15, 20 feet.
I'm going to move up right up underneath it.
I'm leaving. It is 15 feet. Is what it is. 15 feet.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and try to climb it, you could if you wanted to.
I'm gonna wait at the bottom. Just like I can't see the crystal from here. I can just see the glow.
No, you can see it. You're basically getting cover. Basically, is what you're doing, and looking up. You can see it cracking and kind of moving, and that you can hear the chains rattling as something is happening inside the orb itself. Zolgar, what do you want to do?
So I'm assuming they are again still fixed on me and not worrying about what Riston's doing. So I'm gonna let them stay looking at me and just stay right where I'm at and ready to dodge action.
All right. All right, so you're dodging. All right, so you're just up
Just
to
ready.
dodge
Oh,
anything
yep,
that
I'm
happens.
ready.
I got you. Okay. Riston, it is your turn.
Right. We wanna climb up the ledge there
Okay.
in a stealthy way possible.
Okay.
You want to make an athletics check?
I'm not for monks. I don't care. To me,
Sweet.
you can climb.
Yeah.
You can climb
Right.
all day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All
Like
right, so-
Crouching Tiger.
Yeah,
I love
you
it.
just walk up the side of it, just like
Sweet.
you've
Okay,
seen
so
the
you
video. Like I can just walk.
Right.
up. I got it.
So so you see Riston, just with his bare hobbit feet, like claw at almost like one of the mountain goats.
Mhm.
Sheer the sheer face of the cliff. You see him climb up rather quickly for being as stealthy as he is. And I'm going. Are both of the statues identical?
No,
Or are they different?
they're different.
In what ways?
The garb is different. Both of them look like a warrior. One is, now that you've gotten closer, they're faded with time. One is carrying like a large sword. The other one looks like it has like a shield and like maybe like an axe to its side. So the one with the sword is here, and the one with the shield and with like an axe is here.
Are there any tracks in front of these? Like, does it look like these statues have moved in any recent time?
Investigation check. That's a natural 20. What you do, you look around. It doesn't look like the sand up here has been disturbed at all anytime recently. What you do see is from your vantage point being a little bit, I'm going to kind of move you a little bit for where I think you are, is kind of like here.
Absolutely.
So you're looking, now you've got like a side view. You see that there is a large crack on the back side of this amber that you couldn't see before where light is seeping out. It's like on the back side of it as it cracks open. You see that the light begins to flicker. Something drops very small out of the amber and lands in the sand under the orb itself. Almost like a giant teardrop. You just saw something just drop and like land on the ground. You can't see what it is, but there is something sitting in the ground under that orb.
Almost like a amber colored sap drop or something.
You just saw it for like a split second. You just saw it like a teardrop, but something is sitting in the sand.
Wow. And it's behind. It's directly underneath
It's
the.
directly underneath
orb.
it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move. I want to move up towards the statue and climb the statue to get a higher vantage point.
Okay. All right, so you move up. You're moving at this point. You're moving to the statue. At this point in the fall, what do you want to do? You're moving up to the statue.
I'm going to follow up the cliff. I'm going to have to make some sort of a check.
Athletics check, please.
Okay.
I waive that for monks because monks are monks. Yeah,
well, of course.
Sweet.
Without a problem,
15.
you scurry yourself up without a problem. So now you're up here as well. You see Ryson trying to climb the statue to your right. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna hang out and see if anything else happens. Just be prepared for whatever's gonna happen next.
Zolgar, you're next.
I'm gonna hold an action to wait.
I'm gonna slowly start making my way up, but to like the side a little bit. So just kind of creeping my way up here.
Okay. As you move forward up, Riston, you see Zolgar moving up the steps. As you are climbing up, you look over and you see that the light from the back side of this changes from like a very like an amber. It lightened. It's like it's getting lighter and brighter as Zolgar is walking up the steps. As he gets on that last step, there's a light that just kind of like shines out of it. As he gets all the way to the top, there's a light that kind of just shines out of the side of the crack itself. And from that, you see these giant, almost looks like a yellow feathery, like giant wings come out of either side of the rock itself. The front of the rock just drops, and as the entire light, everyone has to kind of like move their eyes back as they look, and they see this giant archon, this giant angel, standing by with a flaming sword in front of you.
I gotta go.
So, anybody speak Celestial? Oh, wow. Okay. So I being the awesome scout that I am, I start yelling, "Hey, there's something really big!"
You see it first. You're like, oh. Now, here's the thing. Because you're at your vantage point, I'm going to give you an action before we go into the turn. So, because of where you are, you see this happening first. Is there anything that you would like to do?
I would like to.
You haven't climbed up on top of that thing yet.
Okay, so yeah, let me climb up on top of it.
Okay.
Let me climb up on top of the statue, and can I yell out simultaneously to warn my?
Yeah.
I'm yelling out. It's coming from under the orb. It's coming.
Oh, good. It rolled a natty.
2 in a row.
Let me look this thing up and see what its bonus is. I'm going to keep the same initiative that we're in. Because it rolled so stinking high anyway. So...
Oh, man. It's
big, so here's the thing. I still keep the number. And the tie here is going to go to Zolgar because his dexterity is higher. So this thing bursts out of the scene, but Zolgar, we're going to go into initiative round here. Zolgar, you're first, and then it's going to go. And then Riston, and then Nifal. So, Zolgar, you're first. What do you want to do? As you see these wings come out and this giant flaming sword come out.
So is it like... It looks like it's not friendly at all.
It's definitely menacing and looking at you.
Okay. I'm going to lower my weapon for a minute and try to speak with it.
Okay, what would you like to say?
Whoa there. We mean you no harm. Were you trapped in this prison?
What language are you speaking as you say this?
Just common.
Give me a persuasion check. Because you're trying to persuade that you mean it no harm.
That would be 11.
Yeah, it doesn't answer you. Now, it's still your turn. You say this, it's still illuminating and kind of coming towards you. Would you like to do anything? You kind of say this, and you realize it's not comprehending, no comprende. Is not really understanding what you're saying. What would you like to do? Maybe there's a language barrier.
Yeah, we're gonna take a bit of a gamble here and just kneel down. Kind of kneel to it.
You're gonna kneel to it. All right, so you kneel. As you kneel, it is its turn. Okay. What I need really quick is, I'm assuming Pass Without Trace is still not on because you changed it up to Hex.
I had to switch the concentration off.
Riston, can you give me a stealth check real quick? I'm trying to see if it sees you.
Sure. Yep, I got you. Okay, let's see. Come on, baby.
It does not see you. Okay, so Zolgar, you kneel. It turns to Nifal. And quickly, it flies towards Nifal with its sword and swings its mighty blade. Nifal, you quickly, as soon as it comes up, you just duck out of the way. You feel the weight of the flaming sword like blast across your shield. From under the shield, you feel the heat of the blade through the metal of the shield. But it missed you. And now, we're in combat, and it is Risten's turn.
Oh man. Oh, it's big, fast, and it ate Fred. I'm so scared of this thing. Okay. Okay. So we're going to
Danny says, "Perchance we might parley before you start the smiting."
Yeah, please. Yeah. Send Danny to the middle of the field to talk terms. Jesus. Okay.
Community game is great. Okay. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna move. We're gonna try to. Riston's gonna move down, and we're gonna. Can I dash and still be stealth, or no? Or do I have to make a check with that?
You have to make a check with it.
Okay, so we're gonna dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I give a lot of leniency to monks when it comes to that type of thing.
Okay, so we're gonna get to the back where the crack was. We're gonna try to get back there. And I'll roll my stealth if you'd like.
Yeah, roll your stealth.
Gotcha, no problem. Oh, please, please, please.
21. Okay. I have to see. All right. So you run as you scale down the side of that. You run over. You get behind. The light now is completely with the angel. You look down. There's a little bit of a flickering light of whatever the teardrop thing that came down. You see what's laying there is some type of circular, looks like a piece of metal that's laying there. As you look down, it looks like it's some type of amulet.
All right. Let's.
And it looks like this.
Do I? Am I hearing now? The humming, is the humming still going, or has the humming ceased since
the humming has
Avatar?
ceased? The humming has
Since
ceased.
the Avatar has come. Okay. All right. Let's let's be Hobbit-like, and let's hope this thing isn't cursed. I know, Trevor, you love that, so I'm gonna pick up this. I'm gonna go pick up the amulet in my hand.
Okay, so you pick up the amulet. It's still hot in your hand as you have the amulet, but you can put it in your pocket. You've got it.
Okay, excellent. And let's see. I moved. Can I? Is that all my actions? I'm pretty.
I'm gonna say you
correct?
moved. You picked it up. That's
Yep,
your action.
good.
You're done. Okay.
Thank you.
With that, Nafal, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to cast another hex on on
The angel.
the angel,
Okay. Sure.
and yell, "Heresy! You're the one!"
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. All right.
Let's do another Eldritch Blast and see if this see if it takes the damage.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Holy cow, we got a natty, folks. We have a natural 20 after he hexed it. So you're going to double the damage of the Eldritch Blast and the hex. So you're going to do 2d10 and 2d6. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be amazeballs. Let's see what he rolls.
Not terribly.
Not great. It's a 2 and a 3. It's a 5, but he's still got 2d6 coming.
No, that is the 2d6.
Oh crap, that's it. So you rolled a 1 and a 3 for the 10, so 4 and then a 5. So 9 damage.
9.
Still impressive. Still impressive. But you did roll a 9. Now
It's all necrotic damage. Did it work?
it did. It did.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh no, force damage and necrotic. Yeah.
Unchanged. You're good. Is there anything else with that? With the blast?
No. That's my bonus action and my action.
Okay.
I can't move much.
Okay. All right. So that's where we are. You have blasted it. A mighty blow with the Eldritch Blast that does burn into it and singe the angel. And now we go to Zolgar. kneeling down and seeing that you are flanking this thing. You also peer over your shoulder and you see the exit. And you're looking at the angel and you're looking at the exit. And...
So did I see Riston pick up something?
Yes, I'll give you the perception that you did, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to look at him. I'm just going to be like, we're getting out of here. And much as I've been doing all night, I'm going to cast Fog Cloud.
Fog Cloud. Perfect. How big is Fog Cloud again?
So it is a 20-foot radius sphere of fog.
Okay.
Centered on a point.
Okay. Where do you want that point to be?
Right on that angel. Or celestial, or whatever it is.
Okay. So you're just going to blow fog over that way. So that is your action. So you blow your fog, and now you can move 30 feet.
Right back downstairs.
All right. And you said the fog... Hang on. It's a 20-foot?
Yeah, 20-foot radius sphere.
Yeah, I remember this thing being massive. Okay, so massive fog cloud. You put up the fog and you just start bolting. Okay, that is your turn. Now its turn. It is going to attack with disadvantage on Nafal. It is going to miss. Again, swinging wildly in the air. The flame of the blade is dissipating some of the fog, but not enough as the magic of the event is still happening. So you see for a moment the fog clears at the flaming blade. Nafal still dodging out of the way. And with that, it is Nafal's turn.
Isn't it Ryston's turn?
Did I miss that? It is Ryston's turn. Sorry, it's Riston's turn. Sorry, Riston, your turn.
Ryston.
You got to watch this DM, man. He's shady.
Hey, man, you know me. I'm not going to say anything. Okay. So when I see this fog cloud, it just warms my heart. Being from the Bay Area, by the way, I love that fog coming in. Just gonna say. I see the signal from Zolgor telling me to get out. He's bolting, and we're gonna bolt. Okay, I want to look and see if I can undo one of the chains on the ball. Either pick the lock.
At this point, just so I wanted to understand the situation, there's no light on the ball anymore. It was kind of like an egg or something. Okay. So at this point, that mechanism, you're seeing that, but.
Okay. And I'm just gonna dash out the door, full dash towards Zolgar.
Okay, so move 80 feet.
Yep. And I'm gonna tell him that we're protected by the true lord of this domain, and you're
talking
shit.
You're gonna talk smack. You're talking smack as you flee.
I might even smack him on the tail as I run by.
You're gonna talk trash as you leave. Got it. All right,
yes, I am.
Move Absolutely. Your 80 feet. All right, as you're moving your 80 feet and talking trash, Nafal, it is now your turn.
It is now my turn. So with this fog cloud, can I just take off with the full movement?
You can. It will get an attack of opportunity against you with disadvantage.
But at disadvantage.
Right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right, so it's going to make its attack with disadvantage. You've been lucky so far. Let's just keep rolling it. What's your AC?
17.
It misses. It was close. He misses. Again, blazing a light through the fog itself as you tuck tail and run like you should. I'll have to move the fog out of the way so you can move. Okay. So you can move your full 60 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be down in this.
All right. Zolgor, it is back to you. Nafal, I'm guessing you're spending your whole turn moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and with that, we go back to Zolgar. It is your turn. So you're going to run 60 feet?
So I'm going to see if I can get the handoff here from Riston to grab the jewel and just book it. Or...
get the baton?
Yeah. See if he's wanting to play past the baton.
Yeah, so Riston tosses it to you. You run with it. You can run 60 feet.
All right, let's do that. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Now it has a turn. It is going to move out of the fog. Seeing Zolgar in the distance, it raises its sword and shoots a beam of light at you. It'll hit. It'll hit.
Yeah.
Take 20 points of radiant damage.
All right. I'll do that and be downed.
You're downed? Okay. As you're running, you have the amulet in your hand. It takes the shot. The arm carrying the amulet drops to your side as you fall unconscious, and your arm severed next to you.
That's going to be hard to shoot a bow after that.
It's going to be really... That might leave a mark. So, Riston, Zolgar has been disarmed.
So I basically just saw like a Kenobi bar fight.
Right.
It just happened, right? Yeah,
right.
Okay. Wow. And is the arm still holding the amulet?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to run and pick up the arm and keep booking towards the door.
You just go and pick up the arm of the Dragonborn with the amulet and run for it. Okay, so you leave, and with 80 feet, you can get out, basically. So you pick up the arm and you get out. With that, Nefal, it is your turn.
I see him take off and run with the arm. How far is this?
You can go 60 feet.
I can't get 60 feet. I'm going to be out.
All right. So your choice.
How dead does
he looks unconscious? He's lost consciousness. All right. So here's the question: Are you a hero or not? Are you going to stop and drag your friend out? Because it might get a shot at you if you do.
The one I don't know that I'm going to. He called me a cohort.
It all comes back. It all comes back.
Is cohort a bad word?
I know. What's up? That's a tough crowd tonight.
All right. So is Nefal?
I'm fleeing. I'm fleeing. I'm out.
You're out. All right. So you leave. All right.
Still in the form of
Octopot. You leave. All right.
Octopot. Yeah.
So you leave your unconscious friend. Now he's not bleeding. It was completely cauterized. But he is down. So now the two of you leave, and that is where we're going to end the game tonight, is that you two left your friend for dead in the cave, but you did get the amulet out, and that is where we will end our game tonight. So we will come back to Harakir, and that is our night in Harakir. Good game, everybody. You guys made it out.